Namaste everyone. Welcome at Himalayan Yoga Association. I am Yogini 𝕬𝕬 and I am joined today by our owner Yogi Himanshu ji. So Himanshu ji, if you can give a short introduction.
Namaste everyone. I am Himanshu, or some say Yogi Himanshu, and I am owner for the outside world of ℍ𝕚𝕚, Himalayan Yoga Association, or Bali Yoga School, but I see myself as a employee, part of the team who work almost same hour or probably more than others for ℍ𝕚𝕚 or Bali Yoga School, to spread the yogic teaching so that everybody can learn who we are and a peaceful and balanced life. So that's what I think and follow.
Okay, so my first question to you, sir, is since we are training students across the world in more than 2 locations currently, what kind of courses do we offer? Can you elaborate on that?
So we offer Ashtanga Yoga. As all of us know, Ashtanga Yoga is 8 limbs of the yoga. So it is very systematic. Everything starts from foundation, from beginning, and very systematically takes us to the goal of yoga. And we follow the same, and we offer in traditional way, and yeah, that's what we do.
So, sir, can you, since you know students, so many students come up and this is a very general query that people have, that when they are here they are able to practice, but how would you recommend people take back these practices with them in their everyday life?
It is tough question. It depends upon an individual. Yes, initially we required an environment to create habit, and once it is done and once this is understood, then atmosphere as per experience won't affect much. So yes, initially I believe if we are lacking in our practices, we should go someplace which can offer that environment, and we can make habit to practice, and then we can practice anywhere in the world. There is no discrimination that here we can practice and here we cannot practice. Every place has good and bad, like a human being. So I believe we believe we can practice everywhere, but initially yes, if we are lacking, go to the place where we can find that environment and make the habit, and then go wherever we want and practice.
So, sir, since we are talking about the environment, can you tell us about the location of the school in Rishikesh, how we are located, and
Yeah. So we are very blessed that we have mountains and a river, river Ganga, and it is very soothing, when we connect with nature, when we connect with originality, then continuous technology, and it is very good for, I believe, for the whole body, for mental health, for spiritual health. So Rishikesh has that, and because from the past, many great yogis chose this place for austerity. Here we have this energy, and here people don't have non-vegetarian stuff and liquor and like so much modern lifestyle. So but now, I won't lie, things are coming slowly, but still it is very nice place to practice yoga and experience beautiful nature. We have a lot of ashrams, temples. So Rishikesh is a very good place to practice yoga. Yeah, and the school has good location.
Sir, can you share a little bit about how yoga helped you?
How yoga helped me? I think honestly, whatever I am today is because of yoga. I'm blunt honest on this, because I used to play sport and I was very bad in study, the worst in my family. So my mother used to tell that you would not even cross your high school. The kind of mind I had and the kind of lifestyle I was living, but comparatively I was very good in sport. I used to play a lot of sports, and then suddenly I had an injury. This injury led to the meditation. I had no option because the injury was very severe. So I for one point of time, I was so fed up that I thought that now there is no hope for better life. So I will have to live like this. But then a doctor suggested me medication. At the same time, he suggested me to practice meditation because injury was severe as well as it was very minor. So we went to all the tests, like whatever kind of test is available, but they could not find anything. But they were able to see that I was suffering very much because I lost, I think, very much my body weight, and so, but they knew that there is something, but none were able to figure it out. Then they suggested me medication. A good doctor, I visited many doctors, but finally I had a good doctor. He suggested me medication, at the same time meditation. So I had medication and meditation. That time in Rishikesh, nobody were offering meditation. we had you know, people were very much into scriptures. If I would go to any ashram, they were very much into, you know, like ceremonies, chantings, reading the scriptures, and that helped me a lot. I will not say it didn't help me. I would not say that. It helped me to maybe create some good things in my subconscious mind, in that memory. But yeah, meditation helped me very much, and I believe within 6 months or a year I came out and it cured completely. And so I didn't have any, you know, option, so I had to do. I did, and I believe, yeah, I know what it is, and it's very clear in the mind, and it helped to understand the society, because I know there are so many teachers, but in yoga studio we have, you know, same mentality people, but once we cross that environment, we meet, you know, many types of people with different mentality, and society like is always asking you something. So that peace of mind helped me to, you know, manage the things, like something, yeah, like if today I'm tired of everything and I have something to go and spend some time and then again rejuvenate and come back. So it helped a lot, and it helped to understand who am I. So I think this is the most important question we all should, you know, ask, who am I? Because until and unless we are not aware of it, it doesn't make sense to, you know, identify ourselves with, you know, the names and whatever designation we get from the society. But once it is cleared who am I, then it's very easy to understand the outside world, and it's quite easy. So I believe everybody should ask, who am I? Am I you know, this name, or am I this designation, or this certain, you know, sometime pain and pleasure which is coming and going? So this is very important, and meditation helped, yoga helped. So yeah, I did that.
So, sir, can you also share how, you know, so many people, they are, you know, coming into yogic practices because, like you said, so much stress is there. So how do you think like the practices actually, you know, help us to navigate through anger? Because so many people today, they are, you know, angry, they are stressed. Both of these emotions, they are very heavy on most people. So through yoga, like, can you elaborate a little bit how yogic practices, you know, help us to come more in an observational state to tackle these emotions more practically?
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, everybody should ask, who am I? Okay. And should work hard, give some time to find that out. Then rest, I believe most of the things will be clear. And at the same time, keep practicing yoga, and not just asana. asana is very good for the both mental, physical, spiritual health, but that's not the complete yoga. Like that's not with we can just by practicing that we can reach the self-realization, to know who am I. We should practice basics at the same time. It's very important to practice asanas because body requires that, our mental health requires that. But at the same time, the basics are very important. Basics will create the foundation, and when we have foundation, asana won't be just a physical practice. We will be able to experience each asana, and through each asana we will be able to relax better, to understand body better. And yeah, so just don't take yoga as posture, because as I said, there are so many yoga teachers. Okay, they do very good asanas, and many great yoga teachers who did they traveled world, they taught a lot of students, but when you see them today, they are still suffering. Personally, I know many. Okay, so just because they practiced only physical aspect, and I think basics were not there, and the other practices, self-study were not there, because it is very much necessary, because we have, as I said, as I believe, we have many responsibilities in the society, not just classes, but to do our dharma, to give classes, but at the same time to understand the society, at the same time to understand how to balance relationship with family, with friend, how to balance this financial health. So I think when we have basics, when we practice other practices, we get that insight which helps us to not completely lost into the asana practice. I believe, yeah. So if we do like this, I believe we will be able to practice as well as create something good.
Sir, can you also talk a little bit more about meditation, since you talked about your experience also and how it in general right now. Also when you answered the previous question, you said not just to get stuck in asana. So can you tell us a little bit about what meditation is like?
Yeah. So meditation is to connect inner awareness with the object of the practice. So when we continuously try to connect with the object, first we disconnect from the stream of thinking, the mind, and once we slowly connect with the object, the mind that connects us with the object, it dissolves into the same awareness, the awareness that we have within, the awareness, the self that I am, and the object that has the awareness within or around it. So once that mind dissolves into the awareness, then we become aware. I am aware, and I am awareness. So I am awareness, this is the truth. So meditation practice helps us to realize our true existence, or who am I? I am awareness, I am self, and self by its nature is blissful, it is complete, it doesn't require any other object to fulfill it. So yeah, so that's what meditation does. And there are so many practices. There are active practices, passive practices. Active practices for those who are very much beginner and unable to go into advanced object of meditation, such as breath, such as body awareness. So there are two types of practices, and we should do both types of practices because both practices are interconnected. And ultimately the aim of active practices is to make us able to do passive practices, because meditation is a way to understand our physical body. Because if we don't know what is happening when we are reacting in our physical body, what is happening in the brain when we are reacting, it is then difficult to figure out what to do and what not to do. So, and when we are meditating on breath, how breath is fulfilling its requirement in the body, and how it is relaxing all the limbs, and how it is making us aware. So yeah, so these are the things we should practice meditation in this way, and everybody should do it, because until and unless we don't know what's happening within the body when I react, and what is mind, what is body. A lot of people are still confused in mind. People think that brain is mind, but mind is just collection of thoughts, memories, and which we gather as we grow, and the brain where all the this mind energy sensations happen. So yeah, so and mind changes every second, so we cannot control it because it is involuntary. A lot of people try, but the moment they disconnect one's self from one thought, they connect with another thought, and they become with whatever they connect with. So we should never try to control the mind, rather just detach from it. That we can learn through the practice of meditation. And once we are not with the thought, once we are not with the mind has no existence, just because of because of that universal awareness, mind exists. So yeah, so we can learn all these things by practicing meditation and practice under experienced teacher, because what I believe, it can make crazy. It can make crazy because it is very less theoretically. A lot of people try to understand it through the books, but it is experience. Yeah, when we experience, because if we don't have experience, if we don't know the truth, there is no possibility to teach meditation. So it is very important to learn or practice meditation under experienced teacher. Otherwise meditation practices may make us crazy. Yeah.
True, that's a lot to process actually. Yeah, whatever you have shared. Sir, I would also like to ask you, like in yoga, we have so many chantings which are, sending out or sharing our whatever we gain. So can you highlight it, or just focusing on the wellness of everything in general around us, like the Shanti mantra, it's trying to send out peace. So can you talk a little bit about like this sharing concept that yoga has, It's like sharing only.
Yes, everything is good. All chantings are good, and it gives us an opportunity to disconnect from continuously pursue for matter. It gives us break to at least connect with something meaningful. But there I believe there is a lot than chantings. Chanting should be there, but we should not stop just in chantings. Yeah, and we should not take chanting everything, but we should take it as a good break to disconnect from the continuous stream of thinking, to become more better and better, to have more knowledge and knowledge. And it is good break, but yes, peace of mind, unless and until we, very important to know right practice to able to peace the body, peace the mind, because while we chanting we are also as creating sensations. So when we create any sensation, it leads to more sensations. So if somebody doesn't know how to disconnect from the mind, it will make that person lost into the more sensations. So, but yeah, it has its importance, as we discussed. A very good break from the continuous materialistic search, from continuous materialistic thought to the something positive, giving, collective thinking about the world. So yeah, this is how meditation is taken, mantras are taken up.
So sir, can you also talk about food a little bit? Like for a common person, they think that yoga is all about showing up on the mat, doing the practices, but food also plays such an important role in this entire practice. So can you share how, just by just changing how we are eating also, it can lead to betterment of life?
food is important, absolutely important. And because I put because this has happened with me, I was in sports and I used to play for state level, for national level, even for North Zone level, and this non-vegetarian diet was very common. So, but luckily my mother, she is purely vegetarian, and I believe only I, or maybe, yeah, I think only I was non-vegetarian, because I had in that environment, and when you live in certain environment you make the habit. So yeah, I used to eat a lot of non-vegetarian. I was so bad that I could eat, 3 times, breakfast, lunch and dinner, all 3 times. And I was very popular in my team for non-vegetarian selection. So whenever after play or whenever we are in other place for tournament, so they whenever we would go to a restaurant, they just say this guy will eat this non-vegetarian food. So yeah, so but when I had the injury, I believe maybe this is my destiny. I definitely believe in karma, but because of the way things happen, a little bit I also believe in destiny. But karmas are most important. So don't think that destiny is everything. There is little bit destiny, maybe past karmas that we get it, but yeah, to take it forward, it's all about actions. So yeah, back to the story. So I was very into non-vegetarian. Then I had an injury. Then doctor suggested me not to take any milk item, any non-vegetarian diet, because these things are heavy to digest. So then, because I didn't have an option, I had to quit it, otherwise I would not survive. So I quitted it, and I had seen so much, changes, mentally changes within me just by quitting non-vegetarian diet. So when I was in ashram, they explained us how hinsaful diet it is, and I still remember I listened one great guy, somebody asked him that even the plants has energy. So he replied, even on the stone which you are sitting, it has the energy, but it is not meant to eat. So similarly, as a human being, because we have that intelligence, we can figure it out, we can go beyond the survival. So yeah, so he explained that we should not do hinsa, and I believe it is right. I am not imposing into anybody. This is your life, you eat, you don't eat, but that's what I get by following vegetarian diet. And yeah, it helped a lot. And plants, vegetables, fruits are meant for human beings. If we don't eat, they will go waste. Who will eat? Okay, but animals, they will live a longer. Okay, and they also have their own cycle. So we should not, as a yoga practitioner, if we are going into understand the mind and understand the soul, and to liberate ourselves to live this life beautifully, I believe we should not involve in it, because there is no possibility if we are harming any animal, feeding ourselves and looking for you know goodness within us. So we should not take non-vegetarian diet and eat according to your hunger. That's what I follow. I don't, sometime I eat one time, maybe in night. I really feel hungry in night, so I take food in night. If I work out, then because it's a body requirement, so we go with the flow. I take something in breakfast and little bit something in lunch, otherwise nothing. So go according to your hunger. If you feel hungry, eat good food, because whatever we eat, we are. And yeah, when we eat fresh food like vegetable, fruits, we can feel that freshness. Yeah, we can feel that. So it is very helpful for yoga practitioners. But but if you are advanced food, I don't believe it's we should go for vegetarian food. But if you are advanced, I believe even with the little bit food we can manage a lot of time. So yeah, that's what I think.
So would you like to share something, like just some last piece of advice for the students or for anybody who is watching this? Because with COVID coming in, everybody's struggling in some or the other way. So anything that you want to share which you feel will be helpful for people?
Yeah, first ask yourself, who am I? And we have beautiful life, and we should all enjoy it rather than pointing out wrong, right. I really don't like it. I believe everybody should have this space, and we should give space to everyone, animal, human beings, and we should not impose our perspectives, our ideas. Things should be like this, things should be like that. Rather, give space, because everybody needs it. They already have a lot of things to process in the life. A lot of us are going to the body changes, mind changes. So we should all give space. Do not poke anyone, and do not care what people think, and do not run according to the society, because we have one life. And do whatever you like, not just for money but for the peace, so that whatever we do, we can be proud, and it should not exhaust us when we do. If something is exhausting us, then this means this is not what we want to do, or either it is not happening in the right way. So yeah, take life like this, and don't run always behind a knowledge. Knowledge is more dangerous than ignorance, because we already have accumulated. Society have already given us a lot to process, to be like that, to get there, to do this, to behave like that. You are this, you are that, study that, be that, and at the end of the day, die. So don't do this. Okay, little bit academic knowledge is enough, absolutely enough. We need little bit also spiritual knowledge, so that we at least know who we are. Okay, and don't run behind the knowledge. Okay, as great masters explain that knowledge is which makes us peaceful. If our knowledge is making us more complex, then this is not knowledge. This is something wrong we are following. So follow which makes you peaceful, which makes you calm, which makes you yourself. And yeah, knowledge is more dangerous than ignorance. And this happens, this what I observed in myself. And right now I am very afraid of, whenever something good happens, I don't like to participate in it. I don't like to attach in it, because when I attach, I feel like, I have done something good. Okay, and then later on, that ego is get break with something else, and something low come into the life. So I am very afraid of all the highs, because there is also low. So I believe rather to stay away from the high. It's happening, and accept it will go, but not let that high to affect my peace. Okay, so I believe that knowledge is more dangerous than ignorance. So be peaceful, enjoy, do not care about the society much, and practice yoga, live life beautifully.
Great, awesome. So thank you everyone for joining both of us today, and do try to join us over here in Rishikesh, India. Come join us for a 1 month, 2 month teacher training course. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Yeah, and in the last, just what I feel, I will not impose it to any other prospect, but anybody who thinks and says he knows everything, he has all the answers, I think that person is living in the most illusionary state of mind, because knowledge changes, ignorance changes, we change, everything change in the this outside world. So we learn by our mistakes, and the one who support us even when we mistake, who give us space and direct us in the right direction, I believe that person, and still stay away from all the so-called people applause temporary. I think that guy is the guy we should sit and trust for the individual collective development. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.